Wow, that was a great way to introduce you to a company that maybe many of you don't know, Nummax, and that's the LED Pro poster. Steve Phillips, VP of Sales, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, Gary?
I mean, you couldn't have timed this launch any better, considering we're getting ready to enter a post-COVID-19 world where we're going to have to deliver messages kind of in places that we didn't have to worry about delivering messages before. I mean, usually when you're in a fast food restaurant, you're expecting the menu to be on the inside of the restaurant, but now we're going to have to be delivering messages on the outside for procedural things as an example. And the LED Pro poster is a great example of that. Talk about sort of the history of that and where that came about and how fast you did this, considering COVID is only 3 or 4 months old.
Well, it's actually one of these stories where I don't want to use the right place at the right time, but the poster came out right in the middle of this COVID. And, the project started over 12 months ago. And the original product launch date was for InfoComm 2020, which coincides with this week. And again, with the last few months, it just so happened that here comes COVID. And here we have this wonderful product in our hands, which not only are going to help, businesses promote themselves or what they have to say, but now they can also help relay, health procedures and how to go about doing business within the once you cross the closed doors.
Well, obviously everyone knows how LED works nowadays, but this is a quite unique product. It's not like the average LED display that you see when you walk around the show floor, which are huge. They're building blocks to giant walls. In your case, I mean, what I was seeing in that video and what I've seen is this is something that's sort of, in a way, looks transparent, can be placed on glass, is not as intrusive as the typical LED that you see. How does it work exactly? Tell me how the structure works and how it's made and how you get signals to it and things like that.
Yeah, well, it's a nice way to present it. And in essence, what this is really a version 2. We started window signage many years back with all the downfalls that you mentioned there, with the fact that it was 4 to 5 inches thick and extremely heavy. The LED concept is still the same, except now we've been able to create a special controller card, which is extremely thin, and our software is now built onto that controller card, hence eliminating the need for a bulky player or some sort of external connected computer at a distance.
So it's a system on a chip kind of design in a sense.
Absolutely, it's a chip on disk.
Okay.
And so the product is only it's about an inch, 30 millimeters in thickness. And yes, it was made to try and alleviate a bit of that cumbersome screen in the window, all while trying to stay away from the transparent, which has, it's a transparent LED is completely different from your conventional LED. So it had to be slick, it had to be thin, and it had to compete against the poster. So it's really the size of what you would see in a poster. And it really has the perfect name. It's a poster, except it's LED. Now with the software, which is extremely easy to use, intuitive. I mean, it's as simple as logging into your account or your screen in this case. I mean, we upload, we can create playlists. We can create playlists for weeks and months in advance. But the advantage versus a poster or a static poster is that if I've created my advertisement for 3 months in advance, things change like we've seen very much lately. Well, I can go back in and change. I'm not stuck with that printed material that's been pre-done for me, months and months in advance, and it's just sitting in the warehouse.
So you can deploy it to, obviously, I would assume you can deploy it to multiple screens simultaneously. So if you're a fast food restaurant, you can send it to all restaurants simultaneously. What kind of creative software package is included? Obviously, that means there must be a CMS there that's managing, both the date, time, and this transmission of the content. But what kind of content design software exists, and how easy is that to use?
Well, it's, it holds its name. It's Nummax Manager all-in-one software. The first version was Nummax Manager. Now it's all-in-one. Why all-in-one? Well, this modern day version of the software not only allows us to upload and create playlists and weeks of playlists and that, but we can actually control the full screen, the entire screen, all the settings from our account. So providing that you have access to internet anywhere across the world, you can control your screens. You can control one, you can control as many as you want, all on the same account. Having said that, for those who don't necessarily want to have the network version, you can actually use a local version and communicate within a Wi-Fi range directly with the screen on on an on-premise basis.
How about, I mean, obviously this is going to be, I see this going into a lot of retail locations where you're literally on a street. And, there are certain times of the day where the sun is directly shooting into those windows. How bright is this, and how, sun readable is it?
Well, the LED poster, we have 5 different models, or 5 different, not only resolutions, but also a couple of units that are really high brightness. So the 2 high brightness models in both the 4 and 5 millimeter pitch are 5,000 nits.
Okay.
You're right now, an outdoor LED runs on an average at 6,500 nits. So,
yeah.
Well, we're right up there. So those 2 models, the sun blaring in at peak time right into the window, you're going to be able to see the screen. That's really not an issue. And also a lot of retail outlets, the windows are tinted, and even more reason why this high brightness screen blares through any type of external light. And we have the lower nits, which about 1,500 nits are the smaller models. But compared to a static poster or an LCD, an off-the-shelf LCD TV, 1,500 nits is huge, And other than that 1 hour a day where the sun is really into it, the rest, the 23 other hours a day, the 1,500 nits will do very well a job. And within a shopping center or a mall, which is behind the window but indoors,
inside,
then those 1,500 nits are amazing and appropriate for the situation.
Yeah, and just to put that in perspective, a typical LCD is in the range of 300 to 500 nits, and even the super bright LCDs are sometimes 600 and 700. So you're talking about significantly brighter, and it's going to last a lot longer. I think one of the claims to fame that LED has over pretty much any other technology is the operation time. What sort of guarantees or specs do you put there as far as how long it's going to operate, how many hours, or how do you spec that?
LED has a minimum lifespan of about 10 years or 100,000 hours.
Okay.
Right. So out of the gate, you're doubling up any commercial LCD available on the market.
Well, more than doubling. That's going to be more than doubling. Yeah.
We'll try and stay modest here, but and so if you want to compare it to other electronics, great. But the poster itself, your static poster, which is good for about a few weeks only and right into the garbage.
Yeah.
You can almost call this eco advertising, because the screen helps you become green, for minimum 10 years of time. The system holds a 3 to 5 year warranty, depending on what type of arrangement that we take.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, but it's very rare. LED doesn't go out. It's once in a while you might have someone that accidentally hits it, like any other piece of electronic. But LED is proven. We're far into LED having proved its reliability, and even more so with this. It's our second generation. I mean, we've been through all the issues that were to be had, and this is really an extremely solid product.
Yeah, you can actually see it at Nummax, nummax.com/LED poster. This new one is called the Pro Poster. Let me ask you a question. Let me go back to the outdoor issue. Do you have the ability to adjust the light output over time, or does it have any sort of ambient light detection? Because, obviously you're going to want it a lot brighter at noon than you will at 7 or 8 p.m. Do you have any sort of ambient light adjustment capabilities, or do you just program in that based on the time of day?
Well, actually, in this particular model, we've elected to take out the ambient light sensor,
Hmm.
which doesn't mean it can't be added, but
Yeah.
we've taken it out because the software itself is proven to be more reliable than any light sensor, because the light sensors, depending on where you place them and the light within within the inside and the outside, it's never precise. But with our software, not only can you adjust it at instantly at any time of day, but you can, as you mentioned, program it. And I think that's the best way to go, because the light,
Yeah.
when it's necessary, and also in the evening or at night. 5,000 nits is a lot, right?
Yeah.
So no one's better to adjust his screen than being able to originally manually adjust it and set that so it never goes over a certain brightness, not to get anybody upset in the
Yeah.
surrounding area.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I guess since it's connected to the internet, I mean, you could literally tie it to a clock because, obviously dawn and dusk are different, depending on what time of year
You
you're
can set
talking
all
about.
that internally. All that can
Yeah.
be set up internally.
Um, Now, one of your users referenced your install as the IKEA of AV products. Basically, that's how easy it is to build and install one of these. It's basically a really simple process, but I believe it even is 110 volts, which is that is a key thing. 110, 115 volts, because a lot of LEDs are 230. Am I correct on those two things? I mean, I saw that referenced as the IKEA installation guide, IKEA style installation guide.
No, you're right. One within the box, within every box, not only is you find your screen and all your parts, but you have a complete install guide, step by step. We also have an install video now, which is completely new and exclusive to this product so far on our lineup, because everything up to now has been custom. So although there's always an install guide with every system that we build, this one in particular we can run with it and put it in every box. Not to mention the fact that all it is installing the top plate up along the wall or the ceiling. We hang our screen down and the trick is done. So extremely, extremely simple. Max 20 minutes. And as you do more and more of them, you can probably cut down a few minutes every time.
Yeah, and the price range is from in the U.S. $775 to $1,965, depending on the brightness and the resolution. I see it in QSR applications. I see it in drugstores, superstores, grocery stores, malls, like we've talked about, retail applications like that. I think this is a really cool, simple, turnkey product. You could see it at Nummax, nummax.com/LED poster. Stephen, I appreciate you being here today, explaining it. Check out, if you want more information, just scan that QR code that's on your screen right now. That'll take you directly to the Pro Poster product and the videos that have been referenced here today, and along with a couple other things on the site as well. Thanks for your time today, Stephen. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Gary. Have a wonderful day.
And thanks for watching. We got a lot more to go on today's launch day. So launch week, I should say. So keep watching. Keep participating. Make sure you're chatting, using the Q&A, using the polling. Take the polls. Have a great day.